Hey everyone, I'm Bianca. Today I'm going to show you 5 Dollar Tree DIYs for Easter and spring.
I've been feeling so small. Watch the clock ticking off the wall. But tonight I'm letting it go.
Alright, so for the first one, I am using 2 Dollar Tree Easter signs. First, I'm going to remove the sticker tags and the hardware right there in the back on both pieces. That way I can paint them.
I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out so.
I'm going to use some Apple Barrel white paint in matte, and I'm just going to give it one good coat. So while I'm painting this, I just wanted to tell y'all thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the latest comments that I've had on my community tab right here on YouTube. I posted, some pictures of me and my husband, or just me when we left out of town for our anniversary, and I had so many sweet comments, and I just want to say thank you again. I cannot express my gratitude enough. So thank you so much.
I wanna drive a faster car. Lay my troubles to rest. Blow the smoke through my cigarette.
And then I'm going to go over it with some of this hazelnut Waverly chalk paint, and hopefully I don't spill it. So I'm going to stir it really good, or shake it, and go over it. Now, I did start to use the same brush that I was using to paint the white on, but it doesn't go on as like rustic, I guess. It's better to use like a real stiff bristled brush, which I will change in a second. I just start off by using this, and of course you don't have to do this part. You can paint it whatever color you want. I just wanted to give it somewhat of a rustic, like country type look. So you see, now I changed the brush, and I did add more white paint to the side because I needed to go over it a little, because the other brush just made it look, I don't know, it looks weird. So I'm going over it with this type of brush now. And these type of brushes, I mean, of course you can find them anywhere, but I had found this 3-pack from Walmart, different sizes for a couple dollars. Now that I have both of them painted the way I want, I'm going to use this Dollar Tree burlap ribbon. I'm going to cut 2 pieces off for each frame. And for this part, you can use any type of fabric you want.
I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town.
I'm going to hot glue the burlap down now, and I'm just going to use the glue on the back of the signs. And I'm also going to use, I think I grabbed another brush or craft stick and just go over it because I don't want to burn my fingers.
Beautiful stars, I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, nothing can break me. Right off the bat, I knew I loved you.
And you see those 2 holes where I removed that hardware? I purposely turned the sign upside down to cover it with the burlap. That way it won't show.
Unlike no other I had met. You got me spinning out of context. Not really sure what I should do. This is the reason I am leaving. Can't live with or without you. Oh, won't you sing to me? There ain't no.
I have both burlap pieces glued on there. Now I have some thumbtacks from Dollar Tree. As you can see, they're gold. First, what I was going to do was actually push them onto the sides right here of the frame. But as I started to do that, it's just too hard to push through, and I really felt like I was going to just stab myself. I didn't think it was going to go in all the way, which it didn't, and then I would end up stabbing myself. So I decided not to do that, but since I already had this planned in my mind of how I wanted it to look, as you can see, I'm just barely pushing them in just to see how many I need, which I used 11 on each frame. So once I figure that out, I remove them. I have this little piece of cardboard I'm going to stick them into, and then I'm going to paint them white. So I'm just going to use my white apple barrel paint, but it would be perfect to use spray paint. So sometimes I do get comments about my nails. You guys, these specific nails I have on right now, it only cost me like $5 or $6 to do. So I have been doing them lately myself. I'm not gonna lie, of course, there are times I still like going to the nail salon, but I've been doing them myself and they usually do last about 2 weeks. There's a lot of things I like to try myself, for example, like my nails, to see if it is worth it, if it comes out cheaper, if it lasts a long time. So a while back, I remember doing my nails myself and they didn't last, but this time I figured something out where they do last, and I love saving money. Guys, I'm sure y'all know how that feels. I'm such a frugal person, so whenever I figured out how to do my nails myself and they were lasting the same time for the same amount of time that they last from the nail salon, except I'm paying at the nail salon like 40, 50 bucks for my nails, and these are only I'm only paying like $5 or $6. I get so happy and excited, you know, to save money. So I'll let y'all know in a second what I do to make my nails last that long. So as you can see, the thumbtacks are dry, and what I'm gonna do is take my stem cutters and just cut off the needle part of it, and then I'm just gonna it popped away. I'm just gonna hot glue them on. So another idea would be to use the pink little, what, like half beads, I guess you can call them. These are from Dollar Tree, so they will glue on flat. So you could easily spray paint these outside and then bring them in and hot glue them on as well. So that's another idea you can do. So let me tell you the few tips that I have if you want to do your nails yourself. What I do is just go to Walmart, grab a pack of nails that I like. Now, I get the ones that do not have the adhesive on them. They come with the glue. Those are just the nails that I'm using. Maybe that helps for them to last. So I grab those. I file my nails myself with the little filer that it comes with. And then I use the Kiss glue. I'm not sure if that, I mean, maybe it does matter. I've never used a different type of glue. I always use the Kiss brand glue, and my nails last, guys. So those are the few tips that I have if you want to do your nails yourself. Lastly, I'm adding these Dollar Tree flowers to them. So I believe I picked these up last year, and this is the name of them. They kind of remind me of tulips, so I really like the way these look. For DIY number 2, this next one is super, super simple. And I'm sure you've seen somewhat of a bunny wreath like this. I'm going to use these 2 Dollar Tree items. This is a wood blend wreath and this headband from there as well. After removing the tags, I turned the headband around because I really don't want too much of that pink showing, and I think this side looks perfect. So I am going to add it like this to the top and stick the ends in between the little wood pieces. To give me a little extra support with the bunny ears and so that they stay in place, I am grabbing some of this floral wire from Dollar Tree and wrapping it around right here on each end. Now I'm going to take some of this greenery and add it to the top where the bunny ears are at and kind of cover up that floral wire as well. I also have these Dollar Tree pink flowers that I'm going to add. Now I know they do have greenery at Dollar Tree, and I believe I saw them before maybe a few weeks ago at my local Dollar Trees, but I haven't found them after that, so I guess I should have picked a couple of them up. Anyways, I already have so much greenery in my like floral stash, so I just grabbed some from there and I'm going to add it to this. I'm taking another piece of floral wire and just adding it on top of that greenery right here just to hold it in place for right now. And as I add more stuff, I will completely wrap the floral wire around it. And now I'm adding pieces of the pink flowers. Once I have the pink flowers on, I just finished twisting the floral wire around it and making sure it's all in place. So I have these Amazon racks in my living room and I like to decorate it for each season. So I just added the little wreath right here. So I posted on Instagram that I finally found these wood planks at Dollar Tree. I think this is such a good deal because it comes with 6, obviously for only $1. But I finally found them. So I opened 2 packs right here because I wasn't sure how many I was going to use, but I only ended up needing 5. I'm going to use this to make a sign. So my original plan was to find one of those long, I think they say welcome on them. Every season they have a really long sign. So for Easter, they have this welcome Easter sign that's pretty long, and I was going to use that. I couldn't find any at both of my local Dollar Trees, so I decided to go with this instead. The other idea I had to use was the wooden pallets they have at Dollar Tree. You could put, a few of those together to make a sign, and I think that would look pretty cool too. So I'm going to use 5 of those, and then I'm also going to use the little wooden drawers. I only picked up 3 of them because there is 2 in 1. So before gluing everything together and painting, I'm just going to show you real quick how I want this to look. So to glue the 5 wood pieces together, the first thing I need to do is add hot glue where they meet, and I'm going to add some craft sticks. That way they stay in place. And you could also use wood glue, but for video purposes, I just use hot glue. Once I have all of them glued together, I'm going to turn it around on the front side and I'm going to go ahead and paint this. What I'm going to do is use a combination of my white paint and hazelnut chalk paint just to give it a pretty like wooden tone. I also used a little bit of water on my bristle brush just so the paint, the hazelnut paint, is not so harsh. Now I'm going to paint all 6 of the wooden boxes white with my apple barrel white paint. And I'm not sure if you can see in the background on the planks that I did use my ruler to draw out 2 lines just to make it look kind of like a shiplap. And you'll see in a little bit that I'm going to go over it with some brown wax. I use this antique wax a lot and it has lasted me for so long. So this definitely goes a long way. So what I'm doing is just taking a real defined brush and just going over that pencil line with the antique wax. Now I'm going to add these Dollar Tree wooden letters to spell out spring on each of the wooden boxes. As you can see, I have quite a few in this little bin from Dollar Tree. And so I'm just grabbing what I have. As you can see, the R, I have used it before. So I'm going to paint all of them gray with the apple barrel gray paint, and then we'll glue them on top of the boxes. The only thing I did was paint the R white first since it was black, and then I went over it with the gray paint.
My whole world has changed since baby, I got you. So wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Our whole world will change while stepping into
Now I'm adding these Dollar Tree white flowers. They are the same ones as the pink ones I added to that bunny wreath. So I'm sticking them in there, and then I will also add more of the greenery that I used on that wreath and some different white flowers that I also found at Dollar Tree. So the only thing that's not Dollar Tree is the greenery. On to DIY number 4. If you are still here, thank you so much. Y'all know how much I appreciate that when y'all stayed till the end. But there is still one more DIY after this one. So I have this Dollar Tree wooden egg that I'm going to use. For this simple DIY, what I'm going to do is first paint the whole egg white with my apple barrel white paint. And then we're going to do a like tan or light brown buffalo check. So I'll show you how I do that in a second. So everybody has their own technique on buffalo check. There are definitely easier ways with tape, but this is just my way. And if you want to do it this way, you totally can. If not, do it the way you think is easiest. And also you can paint it whatever colors you want. So as you can see, I'm marking in 1-inch increments, both horizontally and vertically. So once I do that, then I will use the same ruler to draw the lines where I marked the 1-inch increments. So you can make these bigger if you want. After you see the whole egg, if you don't like how small the squares are, you can make them bigger too. So just depends on what you like. I'm using my hazelnut chalk paint to do the buffalo check. So for buffalo check, you need to have white paint, which is already down on my egg. And then whatever color you want to do, you need to have a lighter and darker color. So for this tannish, hazelnut paint, I need to have the darker color, which is what I'm going to do right now. And then to make the lighter tan color, I'm just going to add a little bit of white paint. First things first, I'm going to mark where I need the darker color to go, and then I will paint all of those squares. For this first row of squares, I'm going to paint one, so I'm just going to mark that, skip one, then paint the following one, and you'll see the pattern in a second. The next row you're going to skip, move on to the third row, and then do the same pattern. Now that I'm all done with the darker tan, to get the lighter tan, like I told you earlier, we're going to add a little bit of white paint to line it up, and then I will show you this pattern that I'm going to do next. I'm going to start off by showing you the right side because I kind of messed up on the left, and I'll explain that in a second. So I'm going to grab some of that lighter tan, and we're going to go on the first row in between the two dark squares and paint those. And then for the following row that has nothing whatsoever, like no paint, you're going to alternate and go in between those. So lastly, I'm going to paint that light tan color in. And for the last row on the left, I messed up on the pattern. So that's why I just went over it with the darker hazelnut color. And then I'll fix that at the end. And to fix the last row where I messed up, I just color that in with the lighter tan color. Now I'm going to hot glue this galvanized spring sign to the center, kind of slanted just to give it a fun look. And these come in a 3-pack from Dollar Tree. So I decided to add some wooden beads to hang this up through the little hole at the top. And what I did was grab more of that floral wire, and it's just easier for me to use this instead of like twine, because I have a hard time putting the bead through the twine and it just takes forever. So with floral wire, it's actually really fast. I always talk to y'all about these beads, guys. I've only bought this huge pack of beads one time from Amazon, and if I remember correctly, I think I only paid about 20 bucks maybe for 1,000 beads, and I've had them for forever. I don't even know, maybe over a year or two, and I have not even gone through maybe half the bag. So if you want to check those out, they're linked in my Amazon store below. So I'm going to put them through, and then I will just tie both of the floral wire pieces together, and then we'll hang it up. For my last DIY for today, this is more of a DIY that you can use all year round, so I hope you enjoy this one. I'm taking one of these wall art canvas pieces from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove everything, even the canvas, so that way I can use the frame out of this. And I'm not going to worry about this back side. You can see some of the canvas and the staples because we're going to cover that anyways, and you're not going to see it. I sanded it down just a little bit so the surface was smooth on the frame. And now what I'm going to do is take this Dollar Tree bath mat, and I'm going to use this as a background for the frame. So all I'm going to do is just cut around it, and then I will hot glue it down to the frame on the back side. That way it kind of covers the staples and a little bit of that canvas that was left on there. And then we'll just trim off the edges or the excess of the bath mat. I'm adding thumbtacks to each corner of the frame. Now for this is kind of like that hardboard. So the thumbtacks go in really easily. So I do stick them in. It's not like the other sign that I showed you from the first DIY. That was made out of, I don't even know, something else, and I couldn't stick it in that. But this, it goes in easily. So once I do that, I'm gonna very carefully paint them white. And the last thing I'm going to do is add one of these gallery prints. Guys, these are actually from the Dollar Tree. When I saw them, I couldn't believe them because they're actually pretty good quality. They're like that cardstock. So you could easily just switch them out with a piece of tape. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the pink one and just add a piece of Scotch tape on the back. Thank you for staying till the end. I appreciate y'all so, so much. I can never say that enough. Don't you think the little saying is so cute? I really like that. Never lose your sense of wonder. And just think, there are so many different possibilities just for this DIY. You could put anything you want in the center. It's up to you. So I hope you enjoyed all of these DIYs today. Please let me know which one was your favorite, and I'll see y'all in the next video.